Hey everybody, it's Jonathan Rose and welcome to Masters in Trading Live. Every single day we're going to get on live 11 o'clock Eastern Time. Get my little tree out of the way. 11 o'clock Eastern Time. We're going to always share a few things about the market, and then every single day we're going to share our one trade of the day. What we've been doing on Fridays, every single Friday. This is our third Friday. How exciting. Every single Friday, we're reviewing the portfolio. Every single day, we're sharing a trade. So on Friday, let's review all those trades. Great question about optionality. That's going to be our second topic. We're going to talk about, we share a lot of trades. How do we manage these trades? When do we take profits? When do we stop ourselves out? And then finally, we have our trade of the day today. It's not an SYM, it's in ZTS. So let's go over to the charts. I want to start here because yesterday we changed things up right before I got live because I wanted to talk about fixed income volatility. So fixed income volatility, that was what was going out yesterday. That's why the concern. But look, bonds stopped going down. That's a good thing. The key number to watch, QQQ. We talked about this for 2 weeks now. QQQ, 433. Major support. Last trade, 439. I don't think we're going to get down there. And if we do get down there, look for that 433 support. Lots and lots and lots of trades, right? But let's go over them. Every single day, going back to February 23rd, we started sharing trades. This week, we shared Rely, R-E-L-Y, MSOS, M-S-O-S, S-Y-M, C-C-L. Now, lots of trades, right? You'll notice that we've closed some, closed Hood, we've closed PSTG, CYTK, TLT, and some others. Now, going over these trades, most of these trades, guys, we're going to want to let them work. These trades have time. When you do an option trade that goes out to July, most often you're going to want to hold that going out to July. So when we see a big profit, when we see a nice profit, we're going to take off trades on opportunity. But we do like to say it's okay to make a whole bunch of money on one trade. And sometimes that means we have to let that trade work. Katos. Katos is a name that we've talked about a few different times, and we have two active trades on Katos. One of those trades is just we're long the stock. Now, Katos is in attack drones. They make attack drones, and they are pretty much sponsored by the U.S. government. They're backed by or they're getting big funding from the U.S. government. So our Katos trade, we have two trades, long the stock, but also in Katos, we're long the July 20 strike calls. I have that on here. There we go. Very difficult to see. Obviously, I broke up all the individual trades. Katos is going to be right here. We got in these calls for 85 cents. So right now, I want you to take off one of those trades. Last trade in Katos is 1870. Right now, $1.70 you could sell. So our buys for 85 cents in Katos, which we did on March 22nd. And guys, on YouTube, you could always watch the video, go back and watch the original trade. In at 85 cents, we are now getting out of the pool at $1.70. No mas for that one trade, but we are still long the stock of Katos. So that's one cover for Katos. Everything else, guys, I want to hold. Let's just chill out. We are okay. We are in a good spot. Let's go to the viewer mailbag because a great question. And it was a two-part question. So let me get the two-part question. I always jump out of my trades too early. So, Jonathan, how do we know how to take profits? So, first of all, user question, thank you very much. Send in your questions. Guys, today's presentation is the portfolio, a viewer question, and then the trade of the day. I want to be on here, answer your questions, helping as best as I can. So right here, guys, this is a two-part question, right? I always jump out of my trades too early. How do we know when to take profits? So let's go with the first question. How not to jump out of trades too early? How do we not jump out of trades too early? Have an opinion. Okay? And then we're going to hold. And we're going to have that opinion until it no longer exists. So how not to jump out of trades too early? For one, it's confidence. It's patience. You're investing in a company. You do your research before you get into that trade. The trades that we share often have fixed risk. Fixed risk is you're risking $1. You get into the trade knowing that your risk is $1. You're willing to lose that $1. When do you take the trade off? When you make a whole bunch of profits. But how not to jump out of a trade is have a plan. When you get into a trade, have reasons for being in that trade. When those reasons no longer present, that's when you want to get out of a trade. So we have how not to jump out of a trade, but when do I take profits on open positions is the next question. Here's a name in uranium. And the uranium names that we've been trading since 2017, we have the 4 U's, we have CCJ, URA, what other ones? Quite a few other ones. But LEU is another one that I like a lot. These are all uranium names. Okay? So, how not to jump out of trades too early? 4 U's is a trade that we've liked for some time. How not to get scared out of trades too early is, let's say you buy 10 calls. Okay? When you buy 10 calls, you're long 1,000 shares of the underlying stock. So if you buy 10 calls at $2, way back in 2021, and you want to give it a long expiration, if you buy 10 calls for $2, I want you to think like you're long 1,000 shares. How not to jump out of your trades too early is, what if you could sell shares? Sell your shares. Buy back your shares. Sell your shares. Maybe you sell 1,000 because you're long 10 calls, right? You're long 10 calls. Long 10 calls is the equivalent to being long 1,000 shares of stock. Okay, this is the stock. When it goes offered, you can buy that stock back. How do you stay in trades is you hold a core position, but you take profits on opportunity. So just like Katos, I want to be long Katos, but when the market shows us a really nice return on one of our positions and we could still stay long attack drones, cover some of that position. If Katos sells off $2, we're going to buy that position back. We're not going to sell our core holdings. This allows you to stay in positions for a really long time. Katos, again. So Katos, we started sharing about $15, say right back here. Again, you want to buy enough. So wait, maybe you buy 1,000 shares. Maybe you buy 5 calls. 5 calls, once you're in the money, is equivalent to 500 shares. When the market rallies, take a little bit of profit. When it comes back, hey, get back in. Take a profit. Get back in. But you're always holding that core position because we want to invest in attack drones for the long term. I put this, we have a Discord community. We have a community for masters in trading. And I asked in the community, when do we take profits on unopened positions? Now, let me first say that I'm sharing trades every single day, and every single trade that we share live on video, we're also going to be covering that trade, getting out of that trade live on video. So you don't have to do anything. I can guide you. That's fine. But it's really important to realize that if 10 people take the exact same trade, you're going to get 10 different results. Why? Because our heads get in the way, life gets in the way, real money gets in the way. So you can use our tools as a way to get out of trades, as a way to take profit. So all we're doing here, these green and red lines, that's just the expected move of the options market makers. The options market makers thinks it can move that much over a specific expiration. Well, if we look at the data, Katos closes in the expected move 75% of the time. So where do we take profits? When we get up to these key levels. When can we get back in? When we get an opportunity. Now, it's not perfect, guys, but what it does, it gives you a guide. And again, if you want to stay long for the long term, all we're doing here is taking profits, getting on prints, building positions. This is trading. And that's how we could stay in a position for a really long time. Another example, Amazon. A little bit differently than we cover, but I just want to show you Amazon. Amazon has pretty much traded straight up, right? But there are places to take profits. Profits, right? Profits. And then on the pullback, you can get back in. But we don't want to just sit on our hands and not do anything because we have the ability to get on profits. And for a name that you like long term, when it goes and sells off, get back in. Build that position. Hold things for the long term. And that's why, or that gives us the ability to hold things much longer than we otherwise could. Trade of the day. Trade of the day, April 12th, Friday. I saw this yesterday, ZTS. I'm not too familiar with ZTFs, to tell you the truth. ZTS is a $60 billion market cap company and sort of these really, really big option trade. And off the beaten path name that I'm not too familiar with, all of a sudden sees $1.4 million in puts. I want to know about it. That's a really, really big play. ZTS, that trade happened yesterday. That trade happened yesterday, and I'm sitting here waiting to get live with you guys to share the ZTS trade, but markets like to move. And as much as I would have liked the market to wait for Masters in Trading live every single day where we share a trade at 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 Eastern, the market didn't wait and ZTS went offered. Now, this is going to happen. This happened with one of our names, USFD, where we saw advanced notice activity, unusual option activity, and before we can get into the trade, USFD already fell. Well, this happened again with ZTS. So the trade of the day is going to be no trade. Sometimes the best trades that we can make are no trades. And I was even thinking to myself, I was really excited about this trade, just looking at the clock, waiting for time to pass so I can get on there and share this wing dinger with you. But then the market started moving and I was thinking about, do I need to find something else? No. Sometimes the best trade we make is not the trade at all. I like looking at the market from a different angle. I'm a big believer that the creative trader wins. So I'm going to leave you with this. Have an awesome weekend. Trade smart, and we'll see you live Monday, 11 o'clock Eastern Time with our trade of the day. Have a great weekend. Jonathan Rose, founder, Masters in Trading.